Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. And today we are diving straight into the blood-soaked, betrayal-packed, alternate history madness that is Spartacus, House of Ashur. Stars has finally returned to its most famous arena, and instead of the heroic Thracian warrior who once led a rebellion, this time we're following the villain. Yes, the snake himself, Ashur. And episodes 1 and 2 don't just revive the world of Spartacus. They flip the entire timeline, resurrect a character who should have remained in the underworld, and give him an entirely new path drenched in ambition, ego, and brutal consequences. These 2 episodes set the tone for a series that's about legacy, power, and the cost of rewriting your own destiny. So let's break down everything that happened, how Ashur becomes Dominus of his own house, the rise of Achilia, and what the bloody ending implies for the future.
I believe they're not done with you yet.
Ashur's second chance at life. The series opens exactly where fans remember Ashur's fate in the original show, on Mount Vesuvius, facing the wrath of Spartacus and the rebels he betrayed. In the real timeline, Ashur dies a fitting death, decapitated for the countless schemes, betrayals, and manipulations that poisoned everyone around him. But House of Ashur immediately bends reality, sending us into the underworld where Ashur is chained in eternal punishment. This is already a statement. The show wants us to remember who he was, even if we're about to see who he might have become. Lucretia's ghost visits him, and her presence is loaded with history, trauma, and a twisted relationship built across the original series. She offers him the chance to witness another thread of reality, a path where fate tilts in his favor instead of turning against him. In this reimagined world, Ashur doesn't die on Mount Vesuvius. Instead, he kills Spartacus by throwing a spear into the hero's back at the crucial moment, saving Crassus's life and forever altering the course of Roman history. In this version, Ashur becomes the hero, the man who brought down the Thracian rebel and delivered victory to Rome. Crassus rewards him beyond measure. Wealth, land, prestige, a patrician title, a new identity as Dominus. Ashur rises from the pits of slavery and deceit to sit comfortably among Roman nobility. But the most important detail is that Ashur wakes up in this reality as if waking from a nightmare. To him, this world isn't a dream. It's his life now, reshaped by divine or supernatural intervention. The world believes Ashur is a noble, patrician, but the elite still whisper behind his back, reminding him that you can give a man power, but you cannot give him legacy. And this becomes Ashur's new obsession, building a house worthy of respect, admiration, and fear. Dominus and the burden of reputation. Dominus, the Ashur of this reality, runs the House of Ashur with pride, but also paranoia. Everyone knows he was once a slave. Everyone knows he rose to power not through birth, but through Crassus's blessing. And Romans never forget who belongs to their elite bloodlines and who doesn't. Dominus wants more than wealth. He wants legitimacy. He wants his name spoken with reverence rather than mockery. And in the world of Spartacus, the fastest way to win the public's favor isn't through politics. It's through gladiators, blood, glory, spectacle. Winning in the arena means honor. It means respect. It means securing a place in Rome's memory. But the problem, his gladiator school is barely functioning. The trainees are unpolished, unmotivated, and resentful. Their trainer, Korris, is skilled but rejects Dominus's obsession with controlling every fighter through fear and punishment. And then there's Rhodius, the strongest trainee in the school, who becomes the spark of Dominus's biggest early mistake. When Dominus proudly talks about killing Spartacus, something he did dishonorably, by striking from behind, Rhodius can't stop himself from smirking. He says what many believe. Killing a man from the back is cowardly. That single comment wounds Dominus's pride so deeply that he spirals from insecurity into blind rage. What begins as a spar turns into a killing, and Dominus murders Rhodius in front of everyone. It's brutal, pointless, and self-destructive. The one fighter who could have won glory for the house is gone. Dominus realizes immediately that he has sabotaged his own ambitions, but the damage is done. This moment defines his character perfectly. Desperate for approval, terrified of being seen as weak, and incapable of controlling his ego. Ashur hasn't changed. He's just swapped one battlefield for another. Failing in the arena, still determined to push ahead, Dominus tries to petition the Aedile to let his house compete in the arena. But Rome's nobles don't want newcomers. They especially don't want a former slave sitting among them as an equal. It's only when Lady Casudia decides to entertain his request, out of mockery more than goodwill, that Dominus gets his chance. Too bad the gods aren't on his side. Dominus holds a competition within his school to find a replacement for Rhodius, and Logus emerges as the chosen one. But Logus secretly worships Spartacus and dreams of rebellion. His heart has never been loyal to House Ashur. When Logus enters the arena, he isn't pitted against one warrior. He's pitted against the Ferox brothers, 3 highly skilled, nimble fighters whose combined attacks overwhelm him quickly. The match is rigged, humiliating, and a declaration that the noble houses want Dominus to fail spectacularly. Logus is brutally slaughtered, and his corpse is desecrated in front of a roaring crowd. The message is clear. House Ashur is a joke. Dominus's dreams of power collapse instantly, and his humiliation becomes public entertainment. Losing a gladiator match is one thing. Losing respect before ever gaining it is devastating. Episode 1 ends with Dominus's dreams shattered, but his ambition not yet dead.
Fall to command.
The arrival of Achilia. Episode 2 introduces the most important character after Ashur, Achilia. While at the port, Dominus witnesses a chained African woman fighting off multiple Roman guards with astonishing skill. Her name is Neferet, but Dominus renames her Achilia, a calculated move meant to make her more palatable to Roman audiences. To him, she is an opportunity, one born from chaos, rage, and sheer power. Achilia is everything Dominus needs: strong, skilled, fearless, and capable of stealing the crowd's attention simply by existing. But she is also everything Rome detests: a foreigner, a woman, and a fighter with a will of her own. When Dominus claims her as his property, Achilia reacts just how any warrior would. She attacks him and tries to escape, but Dominus plays his smartest hand here. He tells her that even if she kills him, she'll still be hunted, enslaved, and dragged back into chains. Her only real path to freedom is through victory as a gladiator, the same path he once took. Achilia doesn't trust him, but she accepts the logic. She agrees to fight, not out of loyalty, but out of desperation and hope. Dominus sees her as a spectacle that will force Rome to acknowledge his house. Achilia sees him as a temporary obstacle on the road to freedom. Korris sees her as a violation of everything the arena stands for. All 3 are right in their own ways.
I but serve the Republic on this day at request of revered Caesar.
Gabinius and the politics of power. While Achillia's training begins, Dominus receives an invitation from Gabinius, one of the region's most influential senators. Dominus enters the house desperate to earn favor, influence, and maybe an alliance. Instead, Gabinius treats him like a novelty, an amusing former slave who thinks he belongs among the noble elite. When Dominus speaks honestly about Gabinius' fading relevance and inability to control his own household, the senator explodes with rage and throws him out. Humiliation becomes the recurring theme of Dominus' life, but something different happens before he leaves. He forms a connection with Gabinius' daughter, Viridia. She sees him as the hero who ended Spartacus' rebellion, the man who avenged her slain husband, and the only person who understands the pain Spartacus caused her family. Their bond will clearly grow into something more complicated, politically advantageous for Dominus, and emotionally transformative for Viridia. Achilia's violent trial. The most shocking moment of episode 2 comes when Achilia faces the darker side of life in the gladiator school. 2 drunken trainees try to assault her at night, believing they can break her spirit, dominate her physically, and remind her of her place. But Achilia fights with a ferocity that borders on mythic. She tears off one attacker's genitals with her bare hands, killing him instantly. The entire ludus erupts into chaos. The fighters want her punished. Korris wants her expelled. Dominus wants her protected, and Achilia stands covered in blood but unbroken. Korris challenges her to a duel, intending to discipline her, but when she manages to wound him and draw blood, a symbolic victory over a man far stronger and more experienced, Korris realizes something crucial. Achilia isn't just skilled, she is special. She is the future of the House of Ashur. He immediately declares that she must be protected at all costs. The men who once despised her must now bow to her strength strength. Achilia steps into her destiny as the house's new champion, and the path to fame, controversy, and violence is set in motion. Our nerdy thoughts. By the end of episode 2, Ashur has gone from humiliated failure to someone on the brink of a breakthrough. Achilia's arrival gives him hope. Korris's acceptance gives him legitimacy, and Rome's curiosity will give him attention. But we also see the cost. Achilia is not his tool. She is a warrior with her own agenda. The noble houses still despise him. Viridia's interest comes with political danger, and Dominus's greatest enemy isn't Spartacus anymore. It's his own desperation to be seen as worthy. Spartacus, House of Ashur Episodes 1 and 2 lay a foundation filled with betrayal, ambition, and the potential rise of a gladiator unlike any the arena has ever seen. The House of Ashur is bruised, battered, and ridiculed, but with Achilia stepping forward, everything is about to change.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.